What's it been like teaching DJ?
It's been fun because he comes in as an experienced guy in a lot of ways, but new, I guess, to a little bit of some of the things that we were doing offensively with some of the under center stuff and kind of the pro style aspect of it. So it's been fun because he's just been really hungry to learn all that stuff with aspirations to go play at the next level. But it's kind of cool when you get a seasoned veteran who kind of knows exactly what it takes. It's a time to put in away from the practice field, away from the meetings, and he's done a nice job with that.
This is the earliest you guys have announced the starting quarterback since you've been here. Did it come clear pretty early in camp that he was starting to separate himself from the rest? Or?
I wouldn't say early. I just think the body of work between through the first two scrimmages, we felt like in the scrimmages he showed up and moved the ball and made the plays for us. But no, I think those other two guys, we feel really good about Ben and Aiden, and both those guys. I mean, I thought Ben had a great start to camp and just didn't scrimmage as strong as DJ, and then Aiden has been progressing nicely and is working hard and is pushing him. So no, it wasn't easy. I just think it was the experience factor and then the whole body of work through those first couple weeks.
Why do you feel like I don't know if you do or not, but why do you feel like his skill set is a better fit for your offense than maybe ones he's been in the past?
I think he gives you a little bit of an element of the QB in the run game, and if things break down, I think he's a tough sack. He did a nice job of extending plays when he was at Clemson a year ago, so I think there was that aspect that was intriguing for us. Obviously, the experience, having started a lot of big-time games on the road, and I think that goes a long way with things. And then his ability to push the ball down the field, he allowed us to hit some of those explosive plays and to some of our speed on the outside that made the decision for us.
But is there an aspect to his game, his skills that fits your offense better than maybe some of the others he's been in?
To me, the arm talent, the ability to hit those maybe deeper throws, whether it's launching down the field or on the perimeter or whatnot, accurately. I think those were the things. It was like, man, we get people kind of overplaying the run game and things we want to take advantage of, and he hit those throughout camp.
Talked yesterday with Coach Smith about how Jack is just not a player that you can replace Coletto, not a player you can just say we're going to get us another one of those. Knowing that this year, does that change your approach on fourth down any? That super aggressive approach you guys have taken, not having Jack back there?
I still think knowing Coach Smith that he's going to be pretty aggressive on fourth down. There might that'll be one of those things we just kind of have to wait and see, I guess, is how it plays out. But we've got some different plans for fourth down, and Jack is definitely someone, like you said, that is tough to replace, and we've got to be creative with the pieces that we've got this season. So I guess we'll know. I don't know, without giving too much information away. You'll know more as we go through the first three games, kind of what that'll looks like.
Coming into this camp, what was it specifically you wanted to see from DJ for you to be confident in naming him starting quarterback?
Just consistency, comfort in the system, and then just building trust with myself as the play caller, where I can put him out there and I know he's thinking the same thing I am as far as the progression or seeing the defense and making good decisions. So to me, that was coming off the spring, was a bunch of learning. It was new for him, and now it was just doing it all over again through fall camp. But and then we felt pretty good as we went through that, got done with that second scrimmage, and I think he's taken some steps in that direction.
In regard to DJ's ability to run, does that lead to you wanting to go with a few more run specific plays with him, or is it just the ability that he can get out of the pocket and break a run if need be?
I think both, and I think it'll be week to week. On some weeks are better than others to use the quarterback in the run game, but I think he just gives that threat at that size and with that athleticism to where defenses have to defend him that way. And but I also think the other element, like I mentioned, was the ability to extend on a normal play, that he can go out and you don't have to have the perfect call. He can make you right with his legs.
How much have you and Jonathan talked at all about trying to get Aiden in one of these first 3 games?
I would love to. Would love to. Aiden's had a great camp, a great spring. He's made a ton of plays. He's still young. He's still growing. I think he's improving every day. It would be awesome to get him into the games. Here in those first 3 and whatever the situation. We'll just see how it all plays out. But we'd love to get him out there and see what he can do.
I guess I should ask. Do you feel like he's ready to play at this level?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's I just think it's we made the decision with the experience factor with DJ. Give him a go and feel good about where he's at, and then Aiden I think is right there, and I'd have no problem putting him in the game.
Is there a moment with DJ this fall that, like, a wow moment that you could describe where he did something that you didn't expect, or maybe you haven't seen? Was there anything like that?
I just think I don't know if it was one moment. I thought the first scrimmage, because he hadn't really had a great start to the camp, and then he came out in the first scrimmage. I think he went for 3 touchdowns, and I was up in the box calling it, but you could just feel his calmness. I was out there. He was just in control, and we put together some good drives against our first defense. And I think that was one of those moments where we finally kind of were like, okay, yeah, shoot, this guy kind of is what we thought he was.
How different is that from what you saw in the spring?
Just in the spring, I think he was spinning, thinking so much. It was just a new system, and we were telling him, hey, in the spring you're going to make some mistakes. Go out there and learn from them, and just keep progressing. And then in the fall, it was like, okay, we got to get this thing tightened up a little bit. So it was good to see him settle down in that scrimmage and just operate the offense. And like I said, there was a little bit of a trust factor. You could feel it there.
Aiden, at times in the fall, it seemed like he was a little frustrated trying to get the ball down the field and be on the same page with his receivers. And I saw you out there, like, after some throws, talking him through some things. How receptive was he to that? How was his progression going through those growing pains of throwing the ball downfield?
Oh, he's awesome. He's one of the better players that I've ever been around. If you have a bad snap or something to learn from, is just clearing that one and moving on to the next. For a young guy, he just has that competitive attitude, and he's I know there was a little bit of frustration, whether it maybe be sometimes with the protection or another young receiver that maybe just wasn't on the same page with him, to try to sometimes those young reps are a little frustrating during camp, and I think there was just a little bit to do with that. And then we were trying to get him in there with the older group so we could get some run with some of the more experienced guys. But
what did you see from the San Jose State defense in their opener?
I think that, man, they very sound in what they do, really active up front, and they give you a lot of different looks with the front. I think that they came out in that SC game and first 3 drives gave the USC offensive line a bunch of different looks. A couple of them they hadn't shown last season, which our offensive line is going to have to be do a great job of communicating and trusting their base rules. And then in the secondary, they don't give up a lot of big plays. They make you disciplined in their coverages, and they make you earn it. You got to go out and string some drives together and consistently execute your system. But I thought they did a lot of good things and made those guys work for it. Particularly the first 3 quarters. So we better be ready to roll Saturday.
The expectations of this season are somewhat new to this program. I mean, you guys have had a little bit, it's been building. Are you curious how these guys are going to handle the hype and things like that?
I'm curious, yeah. I am. I think we know how they're going to handle it. Just from being around them the day to day and trusting our process of how we got here in the first place. But I'm curious to see how it all plays out. I like the group of the kids we got, and I think those guys understand. Hey, this is the process that we go through as we go through the season, and stick to that, and the results will take care of itself.